at the very end of the Tauren world, or whatever it's going to be called in English, you'll run into Giratina flying around as the swirling vortex in the background intensifies in speed. Then you jump over onto these little platform things, and when you get to the last one, Giratina will appear. Now this isn't just Giratina as you know him. This is Origin Forme Giratina, the original. Now really quick, remember, you can go to your menu right at that spot and you can save your game. I recommend you do this before you go into the battle with Giratina, because remember, this is your only shot. Now Giratina enters the fight in a really cool manner, dropping down from the sky, and it's at level 47. Now this is arguably one of the coolest fights, I think. No, without a doubt, the coolest fight I've had to fight so far in this game. Yeah, as you can hear, Giratina even has its own battle music now. Like a really awesome one. Really awesome in my opinion. Seriously. And it goes on, too. Now anyway, I'm using Drill Peck because I know it won't knock it out or anything. Giratina knows, unlike, in Diamond and Pearl where it knew, alright attacks, it knows all offensive attacks, just like Dialga and Palkia do. Or did in Diamond and Pearl. It knows Ominous Wind, which is that first attack you saw it use, which has a 10% chance of increasing all of its stats. It's a Ghost-type move, which means if you switch into or if you have a normal-type Pokemon, it won't be affected by it at all, which is very handy. It has Ancient Power, as you just saw, which is exactly like Ominous Wind, except it's a Rock-type move. But that means between those two moves, it has, like, a good chance of increasing, all of its stats by all of its stats one level, which, can really change the game. If it gets 2 of those boosts off on you, you are going to be in some pretty deep trouble, I tell you. Let's see. Hey, that sound familiar? That theme? Yeah, I liked it. That's what I used for the opening, in case you didn't notice. Now anyway, the best strategy against it's probably to use Dusk Balls against it, because they are probably the most effective since it's a dark place, as far as I know. But, unlike Diamond and Pearl, Giratina is really hard to catch. Well, I mean, it was hard to catch in Diamond and Pearl, but, like, it's not as easy to catch as Palkia or Dialga was. This is a real challenge to catch. At least I found it to be a real challenge. Now, it has Dragon Claw, too. That's one of its other attacks. Which, it's pretty potent. Because, it's a solid 80 power move, but it also has the same type attack bonus. Which means it'll be hitting for a fair amount. And Giratina has some alright offensive stats now. Not to mention it has a lot of hit points. So, be on guard. Now, it does have one move, let's see, I think it's Shadow Force. Shadow Dive, something like that. I don't remember. I'm so used to the Japanese names now, seeing it. But, what it does, it's sort of like a fly, except it's a Ghost-type move. But it's really powerful. And it gets the same type attack bonus since Giratina is a Ghost-type. So it's gonna hurt a lot. My best advice to you is if you have something like a, oh, there we go. We caught it. If you have something like a B-Barrel or any normal type, have it switch in when it uses that attack, where it, like, disappears for a little bit. Because then you won't take any damage. Trust me, it's a lot better than taking that hit head-on, trust me. Anyway, hopefully you'll have an okay time catching it. After you catch Giratina, or knock it out, remember, this is the only chance you get. Anyway, after that, Cyrus shows up, and he has this epic talk with Cynthia, and says a bunch of things, and yells, and shouts, and, it's... I don't know, I think he's whining. I really don't know what he's talking about. I really don't. But probably something pretty interesting. Anyway, Cynthia, she talks and says, hey, congrats for saving the world and stuff. Now what? Where do you go? Well, you go through this little orb thing, and that will teleport you outside, since there's nowhere else for you to go. Now where are you? Yeah, you're in the spring path. Remember that place? You normally go there, in Diamond and Pearl after you get the National Dex? Well, you can go there, or this is where you'll appear right now. So it's just like the original one, except you can't go into the cave just yet, the return cave. So, let's get back to the Pokemon Center and check out our new Giratina. It's in its another form, as it's called, and that's the one it wasn't in Diamond and Pearl. So you can use it in your team. Right now, though, it'll have to stay in that form until after you get the Sinnoh Dex, which then you can go back and get it into its other form.